Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Ready to Love Miami, episode 7, entitled A Little Help from My Friends. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. The ladies get settled in the lounge, and it's the remaining 7. This week, the ladies will need some outside help from their friends. Sometimes friends offer advice and we don't take it, but in this case, they need to. Soak in the direct, honest opinions of your connections. Also, one of the men this week will be eliminated. Jamala wants her good friends Melissa, who's her sorority sister, and Ashley, who's just like a sister, to say what they think about Randall. They say they will take it easy on her rah-rah, but will ask the questions that are necessary. Randall says to production that this meeting is very important to him. He wants her friends to be comfortable around him, and what they think matters. There are a few questions that begin. Where are you from? And how many other connections do you have? He's honest and admits that he has 2 other connections, but he feels Jamala is just like his best friend. It's a bond that he doesn't have with the 2 other women. He's from Washington, D.C., not from Florida. They even joke about if Randall is a Miami Heat fan, but the debate about sports, they all agree, will be in a later discussion. After Randall leaves, he feels great that the friends received him well. Jamala even feels great. They're kissing in public, everything is out in the open, and their bond is getting better, although she knows that he needs to make some final decisions about his other connections. Kadian meets with her sorority sister Ching to meet Swayze. She wants Ching to ask the questions that are necessary. Ching has no problem gutting him like a fish, as she says, to get to the root of this guy. Swayze is also interested in getting to meet the friend because maybe he will get some more insight about Kadian. The meet and greet starts off well, but then questions begin. We learn that Swayze is still on dating apps. Within the last 3 years, he's dated black women, but before that, they were all non-black, mostly Latin. He doesn't see anything wrong with the dating past, as he can't get to date one ethnicity. But the ladies, especially Ching, takes offense. Ching is multiracial, black and Asian, but she identifies as a black woman. To her, what Swayze is doing is a red flag. Swayze tries to defend himself that he doesn't have a type, but the ladies keep going on with the pressure. Kadian even says, "Okay, you said you don't date black women." All that statement does is add gas to the fire. Swayze says to production that I'm upset and offended by their statements. My daughter's mother is black, my daughter is black, my mother is black, and I'm black. To lie and say that I said I don't date black women, I don't want to hear that, and they don't want to hear me out, and it's getting very offensive. He gives Kadian her goodbye, but feels that he has to leave the moment. He doesn't even want to say goodbye to Ching. Trinika brings her friends Dr. Bree and the pilot Jessica. Her friends don't play about her. There are 3 gentlemen that she wants them to meet. The first gentleman to arrive is LJ, and he's ready to have these conversations. One even has cards, so she doesn't forget what she has to say. Does he feel like he can be Trinika's shield in times of need? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And would you consider getting married again? LJ answers everything with confidence. In 5 years, he wants to be a millionaire and to be able to share it with someone. His personality would allow security for someone he cares about in times of need, and he would want to get married again. Of course, it would have to be with the right person. They take a break and golf for a while. There's even an icebreaker of laughs when Bree's golf club breaks. Justice arrives and he says to production that I already knew her friends would be interesting. But if they come with the smack, I can come with the smack. If they want to talk about love, I can do that too. Whichever alleyway they want to come, I am the alleyway. The first question from the ladies has to do with being disloyal. Has Justice ever been disloyal? And he comes right out and says yes. He was a pro ball player and he's done with that life. When it comes to the where do you see yourself in 5 years question, Justice says wherever God wants me to go. Trinika's friends feel that it's a very broad answer. There wasn't any true intention behind the answer. Justice just hits him with the Jeremiah 29:11. When Randall arrives, he's very chill, but he feels that he's ready for the competition, and even says to production that I will let my height and presence speak for itself. He sits well with the other ladies, and there's brief conversation about him and Trinika's connection. There has been some kisses here and there, but Randall says there's been a little something. When Justice hears this, the information quickly turns him away from the bond with Trinika. Justice says to production, if she has a bond with another man, I don't want to come in between that. Some women say, oh, if you like me, show me more. No, you got to show me something. What you mean? With that being said, Justice tells everyone, well, I'm gone. Good luck, brother. When the other fellas leave, Bree and Jessica make it known they do not like Justice. They can smell the BS from a mile away. Something about him doesn't sit well with their spirit. Randall is a good guy, but he seems like he's just playing the game. That's probably why a lot of ladies like him. LJ, on the other hand, seems genuine and very honest about what he wants. They also notice that LJ is really into Trinika. Charisse invites her friend Rochelle to meet Samson. When he arrives, Rochelle doesn't do the handshakes. She likes the hugs. The cherry on the top, Charisse's doggy welcomes Samson as well, and even lets him pick him up. That's a good sign. They make a toast to all of their good friends and new ones. Samson is ready for marriage within the next year. He's 48 and it's time to settle down. After the evening, Rochelle is digging Samson. He even seems like he has it all together. She likes his answers, and Charisse thinks that Samson may be the one. He is surely ready to love. Kayla invites her friend Kelly to speak with Randall and Mike. She explains that Randall is quiet and Mike is interesting. There's a wild connection with Mike though, but there's one catch. He has another connection with someone else. Kelly points out that that's a red flag, and Kayla always ignores the red flags. Mike arrives and Kelly learns that Mike is still trying to develop a deeper bond with Kayla. His only stopping point is knowing that she kissed other guys. When he looks at her, he sees the other guys that she's kissed. Kelly only thinks that that statement is petty. Randall appears and he's cool, calm, and collected. Mike mentions again that this is the guy that she kissed and brings up the awkwardness to the table. Randall makes it known that he has a connection with Kayla, but he can't make a final decision on anything because they've only had one one-on-one date. He needs more time with her. After the date, Kelly points out that Randall is clearly interested in her. The entire time his eyes were on Kayla, but Kayla's eyes were on her. Kayla breaks down into tears because she wants to make the best decision. And Kayla even says to production that I want to pick the right guy, but what if he picks the other person? It's all a mess. Brandy and her friend Dakota are best friends. There are two people that Brandy wants Dakota to meet, Samson and Mike. When Samson arrives with flowers, it's weird how their lips accidentally connect. It throws both Brandy and Samson off guard. To keep the date flowing, Samson says, well, here are some tulips for your lips. Dakota wants to know if Samson finds Brandy attractive. Brandy is big on compliments and constantly wants reassurance of how you feel. Samson looks Brandy right into the eyes and says that he finds her very interesting, attractive, and wants to get to know her more. Brandy is shocked because he never told her that he was attracted to her and wanted to get to know her on a deeper level. That moment is shock, but is interrupted by Mike, who brings gifts for Dakota and Brandy. Mike says to production that the power to eliminate is in the ladies' hands, so I've got to make a good impression. And Brandy's friend is important to her. As conversation progresses, the topic of family and children come up. Dakota stresses that her friend wants children, and Mike is ready for that. There's a little hesitation from Mike to answer, but he eventually says he's open to it. Samson says that he's ready for it all, and even mentions to production that it's obvious that Mike and Brandy are in sync with one another. Anyone can see that. But I'm patient, and maybe things will change over time. You never know. After the fellas leave, Dakota is conflicted as well about which guy is right for Brandy. Brandy is surely set with a difficult decision to make. Looney waits for her good friend Ebony. She wants her to meet Justice and LJ. Justice is excited as Looney is one of his true connections, and when he arrives, the vibes are great. The topic of sex comes up, and Justice says that there's more than one way to have sex. Sex a lot of the times isn't touching at all. When LJ arrives, he says to production that I feel like I'm coming in at a disadvantage. Everyone at the table is already laughing and having a good time. Ebony quickly updates him about the topic at the table, sex. Could he wait 90 days for it? And LJ says no. He's an island boy and he has a strong sex drive. He could not wait 90 days. Looney co-signs that statement. She couldn't wait 90 days either. After the date, Ebony thinks that Justice is a good match. When it comes to LJ, he might be intimidated by Looney. There seems to be more of a connection with Justice. It's time for the ladies' lounge, and everyone knows this discussion will be jammed with information. Tommy wants to start with Brandy. Even her friend Dakota was conflicted about which guy she should choose, although she feels that her connection is still great with Mike. Kayla reports that her friend Kelly thinks that Randall is the right guy for her when it comes to what she needs in a relationship. Jamala reports that her friends love Randall, aka her rah-rah, and their bond is getting even stronger. As Jamala is speaking, Kayla once again shows some jealous eyes. Sharice reports that Samson did a good job with her friend Rochelle, and her friend wants her to keep things going with Samson. Looney says that her friend is Team Justice all the way. She should make him her priority when it comes to this process. Trinika reports that out of all of the fellas that came on the meet and greet, liked LJ the most. They even coined Justice the Joker. They claimed that they could smell his dog-ish from a mile away. Looney says to production that, wow, they didn't have to say that. Just because a guy doesn't float your way doesn't mean that he's BS. Kadian reports that Ching and Swayze didn't start off too well. There was even some heat at the table, and I don't want to talk about this so-called red flag. I'd rather talk about it when I get a moment to speak with him. But Sharice, although, interjects herself into the conversation. She says, yeah, well, Swayze called me up and he was upset, saying that he's black, his daughter's black, his baby mom is black. But Kadian quickly cuts her off, saying, oh, okay, that's enough. Since you brought it up, he called you, I'll discuss the red flag. Apparently, since he's been dating, he hasn't dated anyone black before this process. He even still has a lot of dating apps active. He left the date saying that he didn't want time for this ish. When the rest of the ladies and Tommy hear this information, everyone can't help but to say, oh, that's interesting. Kadian explains again, that's why I didn't want to have this conversation in the lounge, because I haven't had the chance to speak with Swayze about the incident. My connection is still with Swayze, but we need to clarify some things. Tommy continues, now it's time to discuss who will go home. Looney says Swayze, there's no connection. Sharice says Mike. Brandy and Trinika say Justice. Brandy, LJ, and Jamala and Kadian agree, Justice. Now it's time for two men to learn their fate. One receives more feedback and the other will be eliminated. Stay on the path and keep pushing for love. Kayla is scheduled to meet with Justice and Looney with LJ. Kayla meeting with Justice is a little awkward as they've never had a one-on-one date. He thinks that she's very beautiful, and Kayla starts off by saying that she's excited about their first date, but does he even know her name? He seems a little insulted at that question, but answers Kayla. He opens up saying that she's never called, and a man should be able to choose. He doesn't chase after women. Kayla says, well, that's how things are. I mean, women want to be chased. They want to know that you're interested. On top of that, his approaches come off very abrasive to the other ladies. With that being said, the ladies have decided that Justice is not ready to love. Justice says to production that if they aren't vibing with me, that's fine. I don't have time in my life to care about what other people think. Before LJ meets with Looney, he mentions to production that after a ladies' lounge and you're called to go on a date, it's very nerve-wracking. There is something clearly that needs to be said. I have to face the music and find out what's going on. LJ does tell Looney that he's nervous about this date and whatever she's about to say, just rip the band-aid off. Looney shares that the ladies have decided that he gives friend vibes and maybe he needs to punch it in with intention and a little bit more romance. With that being said, the ladies have decided that LJ is still ready to love. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. So just for my movie buffs out there, doesn't have anything to do with this series. Just I thought it was interesting, you know, like the movie Poetic Justice, and Looney has the braids like Janet Jackson, and Justice, get it? That's his name. Okay, whatever. Anywho, let's just talk about Justice. So I I grew up around men, okay? I grew up around a lot of men, and majority of my friends are guys. And let me just tap into some details for those of you who are kind of blindsided about the way Randall is behaving and about the way that Justice is behaving. And I'll correlate a lot of the statements that they've said, which makes sense to their lifestyle and how they've been acting. Okay, it doesn't make sense, but let me break it down for you. Okay, so Justice and Randall used to play ball, right? Okay, there's several statements that let me know that they're used to a certain stock of women, okay? So when Randall says to production, oh, I just walk in a room and let my height and my dominance speak for itself. When Justice says, I used to play ball and I traveled all over the world. Of course I've been disloyal. Of course I've cheated. Of course, So a lot of the times, if y'all don't have friends that play in the league, I have friends that are in the NFL and in the NBA that I've known my whole life. It's a totally different world, whether it's NBA or you just playing in another country, okay? Even if you're not in the big leagues, even if you in some stuff where you just getting $200 and something thousand a year, $100 and something thousand a year to play overseas, and you know what I'm saying, you're getting a little something. That stock of women is totally different, and those men are used to different fluidities in catching women. When Randall and Justice are in the layman times now, right? Justice isn't playing ball anymore. Randall isn't playing ball anymore. There's this state of dang, it's different now. With Justice, he's used to the women coming to him. He's used to having to choose who he wants. It's unfortunate, but if you flash some money and you got status and you're on a team, women behave differently. That is facts. I guarantee you, if I give a dude, you know what I'm saying? Hey, here's a Maybach. Here's the latest Audi car. You can have it for a whole week. Yeah, I'm going to give you this high-rise apartment. You could just stay in it. And as an experiment, we'll see how ladies flock to you. That is facts. Justice is used to that life. He's used to event planning and having these events and putting his best face forward and, oh, this is my business, and ladies flock to him, and he's used to choosing. So when you have people in this situation where they're having to fight for somebody's attention or let somebody know how they feel, he's like, what is this? And when he tells the other lady, hey, I don't have to spend money to go on a date and all that, because that's not what he's used to. Okay? I'm not giving him an excuse. I'm telling you, this is how it is. This is his experience. Okay? With Randall, also, I can make a big guess that he's played overseas and played ball or whatever the case may be. He's used to just walking into a room and ladies flocking to him because I'm pretty sure he played ball. Okay? I've said in previous reviews about Randall is not the best looking dude. Randall, nothing against you. But you come to all the dates looking like you just woke up. You just threw on some gym shorts. You know what I'm saying? I get that you got the beard and the hair, and it's sometimes when you don't have it all lined up, the rough look is in, but he comes to stuff looking like he don't care. I mean, he comes to events and dinners. Mike does the same thing. I mean, when he came to the date with Kayla and Kelly, he got the shorts and had his drawers just hanging all out. He don't get Florida for real. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, getting back to Justice. Justice is used to that lifestyle. And then also we're looking at the caliber of women. Caliber of women with different money, different statuses start to look a little different. You can afford to get a little different things. You can afford better makeup. You can afford better hair. You can afford better outfits. So Justice and Randall are being now in this stock of normal, quote unquote, women and being around normal, quote unquote, dudes and the competition and all. It's like they're not used to that fight. They're used to women literally probably falling in their lap. So when Justice goes home, he's like, hey, if they're not feeling my vibe, he doesn't care. I also think there's this depression behind that with Justice. Let me explain. Justice is realizing that he doesn't have the juice that he thinks that he does. In this process, a few women were all up on Justice, and once he started to talk, they were like, So they started to turn him down, and his enthusiasm, his energy throughout the process just got more and just more disrespectful, more disinterested. It was like, whatever, because he started to realize that he doesn't have that juice. He doesn't have that juice to just walk into the room and just say whatever. He's in the layman stock of women. He's understanding that juice is not the same. And I think that really, really crushed his ego. And you saw this man just kind of go damper down as this season progressed. And I think he was really happy happy, when he said praise the Lord or praise Jesus at the end when he was eliminated, because he really didn't care. He was tired of the fight. He wants to go back to his lifestyle of event planning and having these parties and just being the glitz and the gold of the image and women coming to him. That's facts, ladies. That's facts, ladies. Understand that. Randall, same thing. He's not even trying hard because he's used to people falling on him. Now, Jamala, cool out, child. I said last review that she gives me mom vibes when it comes to her and Randall, and she's really trying to, this is my rah-rah, my baby, and all this other stuff, and he's giving some kisses here and there, but it's like, I don't know what's up with that. Now, let's get to Brandy and Mike. I said in my last review, when it comes to Mike, I don't know what it is about him that's throwing me off. It's something about him that's really throwing me off. It's not the kiss thing, because a lot of guys will have, just society. You know what I'm saying? Men can kiss and flirt and do all kind of stuff. But when women do it back, men lose their stuff. Okay, men are just like, how could you? And him finding out that Kayla has kissed and flirted with other men, he's behaving that way, and they aren't in a relationship. Ooh-wee. I wouldn't say red flag, but very interesting. It's like, are you very clingy? Are you possessive? What's going on? And when it comes to Samson, I said this in my last review, he showed a salt grain of having of temper problems. When the other men were really talking about Sharice and how they weren't really digging her, he was like, wait, you know what? And he kind of caught himself. So he's this good, dynamic, awesome dude that we're seeing. But I think behind that, all of that he has temper issues. Always pay attention to body language and how people act. Also, Samson is, I think, so desperate and eager to start a family, get married, and do all of that he's not really thinking about who he has a true connection with, right? He's picking what's left and trying to make best of it. And I don't think that's a true love connection. It's something about him and I just really can't put my finger on. When it comes to Sharice, girl, I'm not a big fan of you. I don't know you, but there's certain stuff that you've done I'm not a big fan of. If you listen to my last review, I think I said that Zoe and Sharice were the same person. When Zoe reacted and behaved how Sharice has been acting, Sharice got a taste of her own medicine. Not making an excuse, not condoning with how Zoe's behavior. Make sure that you check out that episode, but they are the same person. But when it comes to Sharice, home girl, your girl Rochelle looked better with Samson than you did. When she gave that hug and she was like, I really like him. Samson, Rochelle is your girl, not Sharice. Rochelle is the girl you probably need to date because that connection seemed like it was hitting, okay? And Sharice is just like, since my connection with Mike isn't working out, now she all up on Samson. Now all of a sudden you having an epiphany. He's ready to love and he might be the one. Girl, sit down. Looney, call Justice after this if that's really your guy. Just because the show's ended don't mean you have to stop calling Justice. You may be the woman where he realizes, like, dang, I need to get my ish, right. Looney is that girl. Kayla, girl, what you want? Some juice, some tea, some coffees? Girl, sit down. I need to talk to you. When you sat down with your friend Kelly and your friend Kelly is telling you that you ignore red flags, why are you ignoring them red flags, honey? Why? When you said earlier in the season that you were in relationships and a dude told you that he didn't want kids and you wanted kids, you stayed in that. When somebody told you that they wanted this, you ignored that and you stayed with that. You were sad about that. Even you and your friend at the end of the day are in tears. And you're like, I just want to be happy. And girl, if you don't look at them red flags and sit down somewhere, you sound like you're all over the place. I love you, but girl, focus. If you really digging Mike and you scared that he gonna pick somebody else, you really digging Randall, but you scared he gonna pick somebody. Girl, dive in. It is a competition. Go for the dude who you're really rocking with. Now, you could be in the situation. I can't remember the girl's name, but it was in the Houston Last Resort when I can't think of the girl's name, but it is who Rashid was really digging. I can't think of her name, but she was dark skinned and she was conflicted between Rashid and somebody else. And I was saying in my reviews, girl, you better pick Rashid. He's ready for marriage. He's ready for this. He's ready for that. But she went to the dude that at the end of the season went home and got back with his ex-girlfriend. Kayla, in this situation, you looking at Mike as, ooh, he looks good and he this. But you really connect, you kind of pumping the brakes on, giving Randall some more time because you ignoring red flags with Mike. Girl, don't be in that situation again. Realize that if you like someone, you want to get to know someone, and you scared and you walking around on eggshells, it's only going to backfire on you, honey. It's only going to backfire. Brandy, Mike is not the dude for you, honey. Mike is just saying what he's saying to get past an elimination. You want a baby? Mike is saying, no, but I'm open to it. And then don't waste your time on that. Y'all are connecting. That's cool. But go with someone that goes along with the lifestyle that you are trying to live. If you're a person where you know you don't want to have kids, don't get with somebody who wants kids, and vice versa. If you would want to get with somebody that you love to travel and they but like to stay at home and watch TV all day, why go in that direction? Don't think, ladies, stop thinking you're going to change somebody. Stop it. Yes, people do change. But if you get with somebody and they don't change, then you mad at them. Just stop it. Stop moving backwards. Quit trying to mold and shift people, especially adults. Adults are pretty much set in their ways at this point, okay? It shows in psychology that people at the age of 13 and 14 and 15, their brain is starting to go into an adolescent adult mind frame, and where they get stuck in certain patterns and ways, okay? And then when you get in your 20s, it's highly likely that you start to see stuff a little differently. And when you get in your 30s, you're pretty much boom, boom, concrete in that mug, okay? So stop trying to change people. It's okay to be an influence. It's okay to be influential, show people new things, open their eyes, and, to have them do certain stuff. But when you go into certain deep things as far as children and bringing other people into this world, and trying to force that kind of lifestyle on people, don't be mad when it don't work out for you. I'm just saying. Who else we need to talk to? LJ. LJ is like a friend to these women. There's not a connection there. Unfortunately, I think they're trying to force LJ into that. I just don't think that he's connecting with any of the ladies there. Real good guy. Seems like an amazing dude. But he's just not connecting with anybody there. Everybody who's left, they just really not connecting to me. It's just, I've said the same thing. They're just not connecting. I'm not feeling it, not digging it. People just doing what they do. And the equivalent of LJ being a friend to a lot of people is Trinika. Trinika, I love you, but in this season, you are receiving the award for Miss Congeniality. You get along with everybody, and you're just great, and you're just awesome. But I don't see that romance and meow mix that you bringing out either to the fellas. If you show up to one more date with that half wig, honey, and that wrist guard, I'm done. Let me know what you think. No shade, but come on, sister. Anywho, let me know what you thought about this episode, y'all. They introducing these men to their friends. You better watch out for your friends, because a lot of these men are good. A lot of these friends are connecting and look better with your friends. So watch out for that. In the meantime, in between time, y'all make sure that y'all check out, can't even think straight, Bell Collective Season 2. Y'all check that out as that drama progresses. It's an amazing reality television show. Stay tuned for House of Dragon, the HBO original series, the prequel to Game of Thrones, and also the last and final season of Atlanta, and the last and final season of Queen Sugar. Y'all make sure y'all check out those links. If you're not caught up with those seasons, make sure that you binge watch, so when the final season gets here, you know what's going on. You can join the conversations, and maybe if some things go viral online, you never know. So take care of yourself, like this video, comment, and remember to take care of yourself and each other. Until next time, and bye. Oh, y'all sing it with me. Ooh, I'll take your man right out the box and put him under my padlock. So we can see us together chilling in a place, cold walking and sporting him in your face. Go ahead, roll your eyes and suck your teeth and keep huffing and puffing like a dog in heat. You can call me a crook, a robber, a thief, but I'll be your butcher if you got beef. You know what's up. I ain't no pooper, cause Pepper kick butts off dung young butts like you and the rest of your crew. If mom wants that, God diss us too, so scram. You know who I am, dung chick. Don't play me, punk, cause I take your man.